The IEC in the Western Cape is today hosting a workshop to empower a cross-section of organizations in the Western Cape. IEC Provincial Electoral Officer Michael Hendrickse will also host various organizations, including NGOs and religious bodies in Cape Town. Let's listen in.
We also then have our storage sites, which we've been finalizing now. That is storage sites where we have to store our material. And then we also are currently busy with our bulk election material. Bulk election material is all those ballot booths you see, the tables, all the signs, etc. So that has already been procured and is already in our national warehouse as we make ready. And then we still need to print our ballot papers. We will be printing 90 million ballot papers. Remember, there's 27.6 million registered voters, and each voter we work on the fact is entitled to 3 ballots, and we'll get to that now. And we have a little bit of buffer. So we need to print enough of these ballot papers so that we can distribute them across the country to the correct provinces as we go along. And then we're also busy with upgrading of our ICT and our voter management devices as well. So now, let's talk about the ballots, because a lot of people have been talking about the fact that we have now additional ballots. So for the first time in the history of our country, we will have 3 ballot papers at our voting stations. In previous elections, we always had 2. You had a national PR ballot for Parliament, and you had a provincial PR ballot for the provincial legislature of the province. Now we have a 3rd ballot. This is for the regional seats which are reserved for each province in the National Assembly. Okay, so the term region and provincial is used simply to distinguish between regional seats of the province in Parliament and your provincial seats in the legislature. Otherwise, people will, if you keep on saying there's a provincial vote, people will get maybe confused. So we talk about the seats in the National Assembly for that province. We call them regional seats. And for the ones where you vote for your provincial legislature is where the Premier gets elected in the legislature, that is provincial votes. But essentially, you will be receiving 3 ballot papers. So I've used the old ballot paper, but it will look similar to this. So you see on the left-hand side, this would be your national PR, only political parties. This was actually how it looked in 2019. It was a tall order then already. All right. Then you could have a new ballot, and it will be a regional ballot. I've just very rudimentarily put in the names of independents, because you can have independents now standing in your regional ballot. And then lastly, your 3rd ballot will be your provincial ballot. That is also for your provincial provincial legislature. And again, you can have parties and independents contesting in that. So essentially what your members will be receiving on election day at their voting station is 3 ballot papers. Very importantly also, you'll see here that it's important to note that it's not the same contestants. All right, many of the contestants, the big parties, will be probably appearing on all 3 ballots, but it doesn't mean everybody is contesting the same ballot. All right, you may have an independent contesting for the region but not for the province, or a party contesting for the provincial legislature but not wanting to contest the national. All right, so it's very important also that your members understand that when they get it, it's not necessarily going to be the same ballot, and it's fine. All we ask them is take a deep breath, have a look, and make your vote on each of the 3. So again, for the, can we maybe set up the thing, because it's cutting off a bit. Can you just maybe resize the presentation? So in other words, again, South Africa has 9 provinces, and like I said, for the purpose of ensuring that different parts of South Africa has representation in Parliament, the country has been divided into 9 regions along the same boundaries. Because the whole idea is that at the end of the day, you want to make sure that people from different parts of the country can also elect members of Parliament, not only your provincial legislature. So that is why the country has been divided into 9 regions for the purposes of the National Assembly elections. So when we talk about regional ballot, provincial ballot, they refer to the same geographic area. All right. So when we talk about a regional ballot for the Northern Cape, it's for the people of the Northern Cape. When we talk about a provincial ballot for the Northern Cape, it's a Northern Cape ballot. All right? And so it goes for each of the provinces, because I know a lot of people get mixed up between what is a region, what is a province. It's the same thing. The only reason why we call it differently is because the one goes to Parliament and the other one sort of goes sideways to the national, to the provincial legislature. So in terms of our constitution, we have Parliament makes our national laws, and is implemented by national departments like SABC, National Treasury, Public Service, Basic Education. So Parliament consists of two houses. All right, you have the National Assembly, and those are the people that we will be voting for, the MPs. All right, in Parliament. The second house of Parliament is called the National Council of Provinces. Right. Now that has got nothing to do with these elections. The regional vote has got nothing to do with the National Council of Provinces. The National Council of Provinces, those are delegates coming from the provincial legislature. All right. So let's not be confused with a National Council of Provinces and oops, there you go. Okay, got it. Because I know a lot of times we get confused when we say National Council of Provinces, and you think that is where the regional vote goes to. No. National Council of Provinces is a different animal on its own. They are delegates coming from the provincial legislatures, so people don't vote for them. The only people that we are voting for is the members of Parliament in the National Assembly. Also very importantly, because I see that happening a lot, people talk about the presidential candidate. Our voters are not voting for president. It's not like America where you have the name of, say, president. Yes, parties will nominate and they will say our number one on the list is our president, and that's fine. But please, I just hope people don't go in the ballot or the voting stations wanting to see where is my leader's name for president, or where's my leader's name for premier. We don't do a direct election of our premiers or of our president. So very importantly, just bear in mind that when we are voting for MPs in the National Assembly. And then with the National Assembly, we will have two ballots, as I said, right? So you have a national PR ballot that is for parties to contest, only political parties. Just like in the past, we had a national PR ballot, just the one, and only political parties on there. This time again, we will only have political parties on it, but importantly, this ballot, this national PR list ballot, is the same for the whole country. All right, so whether you're here in Kukunak or in Limpopo, wherever, all the voters will have the same ballot paper. All right, and that will become important later on when we talk about how many votes you get.
Well, of course, you will be seeing several workshops as well as just meetings around the elections as we edge closer to the 29th of May. What you saw there was the IEC in the Western Cape just hosting a workshop to empower a cross-section of organizations in that province ahead of the elections. And of course, that was the provincial IEC officer there, Michael Hendrickse.